Is Rob recording?
Sinvicta, you're supposed to.
Oh, I didn't hear anything from Rob. Dun-dun, dun-dun.
I'm gonna include that part.
We were recording. Rob was whispering. That's why I couldn't hear him. And now here's Coach Crandor. He was only 6 minutes late today.
Yeah, it is a new record, actually.
That's what I'm saying. 6 minutes.
Impressed.
It's practically there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm so bad at being on time for things. Even when I want to show up on time for things, I end up being late. Like, that doesn't even just include this. Like, my physical therapy appointments, dentist appointments, like everything. I was like, yeah, I just got here a few minutes late. They're like, it's whatever.
See, I'm like that in real life, but on the internet, I'm like, I feel like I'm always on time.
Rob was also late this week as well as
I was not late this week, I'll have you know.
As the only person who's always on time, I get to tell you all.
Excuse me,
when you are late.
I was not late this week. I was watching the throne to see when Crendor showed up so that I could jump into the throne. That's actually why the answer to your question that you asked before we turned on the cameras here.
But you saw me in here. Why did you jump in?
Because me and Jess were watching a movie. So we were taking it as long as we could go.
Are you saying that Sinvicta isn't as important to you?
I mean, Rob already told like all of my chat that they weren't as important. So even when we were in squad mode watching the draft, Rob was like, yeah, I'm not going to paste it in Sinvicta's chat.
Yeah, damn fucking right. I'm just kidding.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I love you, chat.
Yep.
Everybody. How's it going?
How hangs it?
Welcome.
So this was the NFL draft week. As you saw last week, we did our pre-draft show. We told you what the draft was. Then we live streamed the draft.
Yeah.
The first round at least.
Thank you to everyone who came out for that.
Yeah, it actually went pretty well, I think.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Crandor was also late by about 30 minutes, I think.
Okay, I was getting my food, and that was just okay.
Being punctual is hard for a coach.
Punctual's for losers. That's Abraham Lincoln.
It's actually true. Yeah, I remember that quote in history class.
Gotcha.
So, a lot of stuff happened. A lot of crazy picks happened. So I figured we'd start out by just going over the first round in general. So as we all thought, Kyler Murray went to the Cardinals.
Yep.
And I feel like everybody kind of knew it was going to happen, but they were like, well, maybe they won't do it. But then they did it. But I mean, it's not a bad pick.
I'll wear my mistakes on my chest. I said I didn't think the Cardinals were going to do it because no organization would be dumb enough to do that. Turns out Cardinals are. So, you got that. They got that going for them.
I mean, why? Like they had Rosen.
I don't know.
Why go for a new quarterback after you just got done installing a new quarterback?
I saw a comment that was like, the Cardinals have traded the 2018 first round pick, a 2018 second round pick, a 2018 fifth round pick for a 2020 first round pick. Because that's basically what they fucking did.
Yeah, that's what it was. I saw. They were like, with the 10th pick of the 2018 NFL draft, the Cardinals select the 62nd pick of the 2019 NFL draft.
It's just like, I don't know. Here's the thing. Like, I said this on during our draft show. I said this last week. I think Kyler is better than Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
But it's just like, why would you do that? You have no need to do that. Unless you really think there is nothing in Josh Rosen. Which I don't see it personally, but
like maybe they think Rosen's just like a average quarterback, and they think Murray will be like a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Yeah, like, I mean, I guess they had to have thought that, right? Like there's no other way you pull the trigger on that decision unless they thought that,
Yeah, like they probably traded up last year, being like, guys, we really need a quarterback, and then they're like, maybe we shouldn't have did that. Maybe I guess we should have just waited till next year. So I don't know. I think that's part of it. They just feel like they made a mistake last year. Now they want to move on. But still, like, I don't think he was like terrible. Like, I feel like if they just got some stuff around him, he probably would have gotten gotten better.
Plus, yeah,
the team is terrible.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
He had nothing to work with. They were literally the 32nd ranked offensive line in football.
Oh, they're not awful.
Yeah. And
like,
they drafted a pocket quarterback. Like
I can't think of another team in recent memory that has done that, where they took an overall first. I mean, I know it's happened before, but I just can't think of one on the top of my head, where they took a first round quarterback in a previous season and then decided to get another first round quarterback with the first pick of the draft at that.
Yeah,
that's
that's
wild to
bonkers.
me.
Yeah.
And it shows no loyalty to your players either. Why would anyone in that organization trust the organization in any way at this point, right?
Yeah,
like
Rosen
they just
was their
shit
guy.
all over him. Yeah,
Rosen was their guy, and this is how they treated him. Like, I'm surprised. Like, how did Fitzgerald stay there?
I don't know.
Like, if they're treating people like that, I mean, they must. He must be shaking the right hand or something, because that is
probably got a mansion there. He's just like settled in, like I like
Arizona.
this place.
I mean,
It's a desert mansion. It's got like scorpions walking around and shit.
Where all the millionaires play, Scottsdale.
At this point, he's dug in, right? Like he's gonna be a Cardinal forever. Like it's just not going away at this point. I feel bad for him too. You know,
I mean, I don't feel bad for him at all. He gets paid millions and millions of dollars to play.
He's played in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He didn't win it, but
he's well compensated, sure, but that doesn't mean that, like, you know, it's still his dream to win the Super Bowl. Ultimately.
Is it though?
Yeah, of course. The dude's been doing this. He's been doing this for like 20 years now. Like he probably, I'm sure he wants a ring.
I'm pretty sure that there's many people who play in the NFL that don't actually care about winning, and they just care about, like, hey, I've got a good job.
That's true, but I don't think
just-
Larry
yeah.
Fitzgerald is one of them, though. Personally,
he might just
No, I'm
playing
not-
football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Andre Johnson
obviously
did.
he's going to want to win. But
Yeah.
Of course, but at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to go into this rhetorical situation, but I'm pretty sure that there are legitimate players who are like, yeah, they want to put on like the face of like, yeah, of course, winning the Super Bowl is the greatest thing in the world, but really, like, yeah, this is a cushy job. I'm just going to get paid millions of dollars or even hundreds of thousands of dollars just to play football because it's fun.
I'm sure there's lots of players like that, but I sincerely, I don't think Larry Fitzgerald is one of them. That dude.
I don't
seems
I don't
like,
I don't think particularly Fitz is, but anyway,
Yeah.
the Cardinals.
Yeah.
it's the Cardinals. But I mean, it's still
Yeah.
like moving in the right direction. Like it's not a bad decision.
It was.
I think it is. Here's the thing. I think it is a bad decision, and the reason that I think it's a bad decision is not just because it's just utterly disrespectful to your pick and your team and your players and your fan base, and you know, there's 100 reasons for it to be
Right.
bad in that direction. But in like a football direction, they just spent so much ammo getting literally Kyler Murray. Now, if he ends up being their QB that wins them Super Bowls, it wins them any Super Bowls since, you know, they have 0, then sure, I guess it was a good decision ultimately. But like right now, it's they spent so much ammo to end up with Kyler Murray. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. It just seems like that team needs a lot of help, not a little help. And doing it this way just seems like the wrong way to rebuild, in my opinion. But I'm also not paid millions of dollars to make those decisions. So
I think it's the right decision. I just think they got there in a terrible way.
yeah,
I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I think it is the right pick that you had to do, but like to get here, you had to like trade a bunch of picks, get a quarterback, put like, you know, kind of leash them through all this and be like, all right, bye.
Well,
and then like everyone like freaks out because it's like that's kind of douchey to do, but it's like, I mean, you still got to do it.
the other thing is I have absolutely zero fucking clue why they waited until draft day to literally day 2 draft day to trade Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
Because you just tank his value. He was the 10th overall pick last year.
Yeah.
You could, if they did this 2 months ago, if they did this 2 months ago, they could have got a first round pick for Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
If you're making that decision, I feel like you have to make that way earlier than they did because they killed his trade value. They ended up getting what, like a second round and something else for him? right?
Yeah, I think it was like a 2nd and a 5th round pick swap or something like that.
That's just like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Well, maybe the teams were just like, oh, they're probably going to take Kyler Murray. We don't want to trade for it. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. But at the same time, there's got to be like some team that would give up something.
Yeah,
I mean,
more than what
like,
they got, I would think. Yeah.
It just shows you that someone in the Arizona Cardinals like organization just absolutely hates Josh Rosen.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because like Rob is right, they could have done so much more with that pick. It's clear they didn't even value him, because if they actually had some faith in the stock of Rosen, they would have traded him that day on the first day after going for Murray. But they just, I mean, obviously they're going to be focused more on the draft, but when coach was saying like, well, they made, they're in the right direction, it's kind of like, well, when you're at the bottom of the barrel, coach, you can only float up. So you can't really go down anymore.
Ask the Detroit Lions about that one.
They go through the barrel.
Next up, we had Nick Bosa, which is like, the safe number 2 pick.
Yep. Everybody thought that was going to happen. Everybody kind of knew that one.
Yeah. But the shocker at number 3, well, not even too big of a shocker, because I mocked that one, is the Jets taking Quinnen Williams.
Yep.
So how do you feel about that one?
The thing is, I love the kid. The dude Quinn, like, did you guys see the sneezing thing with him?
Yeah, that was funny.
It's hilarious. He basically, he was giving an interview at the draft stage, and he sneezed. Then he said "bless you" to himself, and then he thanked himself for saying "bless you" to himself.
He's a Jet already, coach. He's a Jet.
And he's got braces. He's an adorable man, and he will murder Tom Brady, and I'm happy about that. So he's going to be a good pick, and I hope anyway. But I am sad that it ended up being that we couldn't trade down, and I say couldn't, even though I don't know. But here's the thing: there has been a news story that said that the Raiders front office were trying to trade the 4th overall pick, and there were nobody was answering. Apparently, like there were no phone calls. So I think that might have just been the situation with the Jets too. Honestly, we probably wanted to trade down, and we probably just couldn't. But at the end of the day, we got, what some analysts, a good deal of them at least, were considering the best player in the draft at Quinnen Williams. So, I'm not really sad about it, but I'm a little sad.
He was a big time player in the SEC. I mean, that's in and of itself is a pretty good feat to have.
And if you watch his highlights, he's a monster. So I mean, it's a good pick. But it's just the Jets fan in me. That's all it is. That's the only. It's literally the only bit. It's the Jets fan bias in me that I've seen this. I've seen this for 10 years. It hurts me. But I'm sure he's going to be a great pick, and I don't want to shit on the man. It's just, it burns me.
It's like I said at the draft, coach. There is only one true absolute in the world that Jets will hate their pick.
Yeah.
Jets fan is never satisfied.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Rob at least has been saying this whole time, like, he wants offense.
Yeah.
So I can see why he's not satisfied.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because then you get another defensive player, and it's like, well, we got...
Maybe he could play offense.
We got Le'Veon Bell. But, yeah, I think that shows, like, that nobody wanted to trade up because everyone was kind of like, well, there's, like, guys down here we can get.
Mm-hmm. And I think they figured the QBs were going to drop because it seemed like that. That happened, and, I thought that might be the case, too.
And man, oh, man, did it happen because... boy. Haskins, man.
Yep. We'll get to that. We got the Raiders with the first surprise pick. They took Clelin Ferrell, which shows they really wanted to trade down, I'd imagine. Because he was like mocked at like either like between 10 and 20.
Yeah. I didn't even see him on the draft when I was looking at looking at our mocks.
Yeah. So, like, I'm sure he can be good. It's just the value of getting him at that point is like...
He's better than any of us would do. Yeah. That's not saying too much right now, but, that was the crazy pick that the Oakland Raiders were having, then man,
Yeah.
I hate to see Chucky when he's partying.
Well, it's funny because like that was like probably the surprise pick in the top 10, right? Like that was the one that happens every year. I think really.
That was
I know you're right. Yeah. Never mind.
Get into that one.
Yeah, you're right. But that's one of the two, maybe, I suppose.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like I don't know if we mentioned in the episode yet, but nobody fucking knows. Nobody knows. Like, Clelin Ferrell might be the best player in this draft. We have no idea.
Basically, all of football is a crapshoot, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Literally everything that has to do with football is a crapshoot. We're just here, just talking.
And what could have happened? I could see this being the thing that played out there. Clelin Ferrell might be the guy that was at the top of the Raiders draft board, and they might have thought, well, we could probably trade down and still get him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then nobody was calling, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, they thought maybe, okay, well, we're not going to get him at our next pick, so we should take him now. And if that was their decision, then I gotta respect the board.
I have a different theory.
All right.
Okay.
My theory is that they were banking on someone trading up for the 4th pick and didn't have a pick at number 4 and just selected somebody.
If it was just Gruden and his grinders behind the scenes, I might feel you. That's Mike Mayock now, and I like Mike Mayock. He would do his homework. I feel like.
Yeah,
but
he always knew stuff when he'd be on the NFL channel draft thing.
Yeah,
I mean, but you had Josh Allen up there though.
That is the weird thing.
Josh Allen has won multiple awards. He played in the SEC. He was clearly better, in my opinion, than Clelin Ferrell was.
Maybe, I guess he just knows something you don't. He might be like, you know what? Clelin Ferrell has that drive in him. Josh Allen doesn't have that.
Either that or somebody really wanted just to hear Gruden try to pronounce Clelin over and over again.
Clelin Ferrell. That's Clelin. Just see him all the time. Just Clelin. He's just sitting there saying it over and over to himself.
Big 10, 9, 7, SG.
We're going to call this play the Ferrell. The Ferrell cat.
Of course, you'd work into a cat in there.
Dude, Clemson. They're like the wild. What are Clemson? The Tigers? Clemson Tigers?
No, you're thinking of LSU, right?
Oh, the LSU Tigers.
It's like some kind of cat, though.
That's what I thought.
Right. Clemson. Let's see. Maybe it is Tigers.
It's Tigers.
It is Tigers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, sons of bitches.
That's
There's too many tigers in football.
There's too many goddamn tigers in my
There's a lot of tigers.
Who are we? The Wildcats. Who are we going to be? The Wildcats.
I love that. Well, next up, we had the Buccaneers taking Devin White, which that's a solid pick.
Yep.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big fan of
the
you
said you wouldn't mind it.
Yeah. On my passing grade, coach, was anything on the defensive side of the ball.
Yep.
That's all I cared about. And I definitely loved watching Devin White on the highlights and everything. Getting an impact linebacker is going to be great. And I can't wait to see the Buccaneers give up only 39 points per game.
That might be enough to win. You never know. Maybe an extra game or two.
I mean, it might, but as long as we have Jameis Winston at the helm, probably not, Coach.
Yeah.
Did you guys end up taking a QB at all, actually, in the draft?
The Buccaneers did not. They drafted linebacker, DB, CB, safety, and a linebacker, some person on the 5th round, wide receiver, and DT.
Well, tank for Tua, bro.
Yeah, pretty much all defense, which is actually pretty good because that's
except for the wide receiver and the whatever in the 5th round. But
it looks like it says kicker here.
No, I don't see that at all, Coach. You might have different notes than I do.
That's interesting here.
Only an insane person would ever think that the Bucs would draft another kicker anytime before the 200th pick.
Yeah,
that clearly didn't happen.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
speaking of terrible picks, the New York Giants select Daniel Jones, 6th overall. I mean, like we were saying, like he could be good.
Yeah, because look, last if you didn't watch our draft show and you just watched the podcast last week, then you saw my QB grades. I didn't do any quote unquote scouting of Daniel Jones then, but I did after that, before the draft. And I'll tell you what, I put him as the number 2 quarterback in this draft, actually. So I personally think the Giants did get the second best QB in this draft. But
wouldn't you want to draft the best quarterback though?
Well, yeah, but you can't. If the Cardinals are going to make a stupid shoot themselves in the foot decision and take Kyler Murray, then what are you going to do, right? So
it's well, I guess then you do the thing where you shoot yourself in the foot and take Daniel Jones. But it looks like he's got potential. I don't think he can start right away, but I guess they wouldn't want him to start right away with Eli.
I don't think he's going to start right away, but I think he can start right away, actually. Like so that's the thing about him, is that I actually think he's got the issues that he has are limited. Now the stuff that I don't know, like how good of a leader is he, how well does he do on the board, how quickly does he learn new concepts and stuff, how quickly does he learn new techniques that they're going to be teaching him. I don't know any of those things. Those are things that only the GMs and the scouting teams will know. But the rest of the stuff, like he was in my opinion, he was the most put together quarterback outside of Kyler Murray, more than anyone else in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
With all the traits that you're kind of looking for, because like Ryan Finley was there too. He seemed to do all the things that you want him to do, but he just didn't. His arm, he looked like he had a noodle arm. He's got a little noodle arm going on. So, I don't know. I think he was the second best in the draft.
You made all this after he was drafted.
What's that?
You made all the analyzation after he was drafted?
No, I did it before, actually.
He just didn't do it on the show.
I just didn't do it on the podcast. Yeah. I did it before he was drafted. I did it. It was on my Twitter. You can check the tweets, and then also on our draft show. So
yeah, I watched a little bit of him. He seemed like he reminded me of like that Peyton Manning style of quarterback, where he's just like pocket passing, like doo, doo, doo. He had that like kind of frame to him too. Maybe Peyton Manning will give him some tips, being the brother of Eli. He'll just come down like, let me show you how to play football. That could help him out. But I feel like
John Madden.
Boom. Right. I feel like there's many good quarterbacks next year. And it's not like you're going to be good this year. You're the Giants. You just traded away your best wide receiver. Yeah. And you could take Josh Allen here and have like a pass rusher to not compensate. What's the word I'm looking for?
You're right there.
I'm gonna let Coach figure this one out. You can do it.
It's like
I believe in you.
Goddamn, not compensate. What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Compliment.
That's
the word you're looking for.
It's like a compliment, because you got the pass rusher and you got the passers. So I think you take your pass rusher here, you get Josh Allen, you rush the quarterback, and then you bring in your good quarterback next year you draft, and you get a nice compliment on both sides of the ball. And then they did this. So I'm like, oh, I guess that could work.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the Giants.
The thing is too, I'm gonna continue to defend the Giants here. In this scenario, right. Thing is too, if you got a guy that you like, in my opinion, you take him, because like if they think Daniel Jones is their QB of the future, fucking take him, because the thing is, you don't know what your position is gonna be next year. Yeah. Are you going to be in position to get Tua or who are the other guys, like DeGrom or whatever the fuck?
Oh yeah, there's I can pull it up.
I don't know the next year.
Yeah, one was gonna come in this year, and then he waited till next year. There's Tua. There's Justin Herbert,
right?
Oregon.
Justin Herbert,
Jake Fromm, Georgia.
So you don't know if you're gonna be in position to get one of those guys, and also next year, what if Tua shits the bed? I mean, like what if he shows himself to be a terrible QB? It could happen.
Get injured or something.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's not like it's not like it's even uncommon to happen. Where QB prospects decide to stay another year, and then all teams are just like, ooh, yeah, I'm glad we got more tape on you.
Ooh,
So
baby, I love the way. It's actually a bear coach, not Herbert.
sorry.
I went to school with that entire family. It's a bear.
What?
Yeah, it's a bear.
You went to school with their family?
Yeah, every single one of their sons has a J in front of their name.
Oh. Wait,
interesting.
I don't know if you're like lying or if you actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I'll take your word for it. Anyway, guess who gets Josh Allen? The Jaguars at 7, which is actually probably one of the biggest steals. As long as he's good.
I don't think anyone had him going to 7.
People
it feels like
was mocking him in the top 3.
Yeah. Well, it's one of these picks where like, there's picks where it's like, it could be a bust, but I feel like there's some guys that just have that natural floor where it's like their floor is they'll be a starter, even if they're not a Pro Bowler. Like they can start and get the job done. I feel like that's what he is. Like even if he's not a Pro Bowler, he's going to be a good starter, but he's got the potential to be like, an all-pro.
Very good. Yeah.
So that's a solid pick at number 7 for the Jaguars, especially because they've been needing one ever since they lost Dante Fowler Jr.
Yep.
Yeah, and they got Jawan Taylor.
Yeah, they got Jawan Taylor.
Gotta be Jawan Taylor.
It's gotta be Jawan Taylor. That was
Taylor.
our meme of the draft because he was supposed to. I had him mocked right there at 7, and they got him in the 2nd round at that spot. Like that's some good value.
This is how far he fell. I had time to leave the stream, record Isaac, go get food, come back, and Jawan Taylor still wasn't drafted.
Yeah. That's I guess he had like leg issues or spine issues or something. So
I think it was both, apparently.
Yeah.
At least that's what chat was saying.
Yeah. So I guess that's why. But hey, that's still pretty good value for a guy who's supposed to go in the top 10. Get him in the 2nd round.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had the Lions take T.J. Hawkinson, tight end, who could be very good or could be a bust, like when they took Eric Ebron, very high up.
When he left Detroit, was a god in Indianapolis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's one of those things where I think taking a tight end really high up is kind of a risky pick too, because usually you can get tight ends like either late 1st or the 2nd or 3rd or whatever. But I mean, it could work out. He could be the next Gronk or Ebron. Lions, so probably the latter.
Yeah.
Then the Bills got Ed Oliver, which a great pick. He was riding a horse named Coffee, wearing a cowboy hat. This guy may be my new favorite defensive tackle.
Wait, which guy? Say it again. I missed
Ed Oliver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's riding the horse named Coffee. They're
yes,
showing
I
it.
did
He had
see
the
that.
cowboy
That was
hat.
wonderful. Yeah,
it was very good.
You know who he reminded me of? Even at, like before, like seeing him ride the horse and everything, he reminded me of a young John Randall.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's not a bad comparison.
I think he's actually going to be pretty darn good. And even if he's not, I don't care because the dude freaking owns like 10 horses.
Yeah, like a lot of people had him mocked as like a top 5 pick. So getting him at 9 even is like really good. And I think he'll probably fit in right in Buffalo.
Who's the guy that's afraid of horses?
I have no idea.
Hold on. NFL player.
Who's the guy afraid of horses?
There's one. I want to say it's Von Miller, but is it? Oh, it's Eric Berry. Eric Berry is afraid of horses.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That is weird.
I mean, Oliver.
Yeah.
Oliver was popular down here when he played for the Cougars. So, I think
he played there.
Yeah, he played for Houston. And he, I don't know. He reminds me of a younger John Randall.
Yeah, I think it's a really good pick for Buffalo. I mean, they just had Kyle Williams retire, so they needed someone there, and that's a pretty solid pick. So hey, that's a good Bills pick there. Then at 10, we had the Broncos trade down with the Steelers, who selected Devin Bush out of Michigan. So I guess they needed a Ryan Shazier replacement because they have not replaced him, and they traded up to do that with Devin Bush. That seems like another solid pick.
Yeah, it seems like it.
That gif, Rob.
I know, right? Yeah. Private text, isn't that fucking great? It's a gif of Eric Berry going, "Oh hell nah, there goes that horse. I don't fuck with that horse." It was great because he was a chief for so long, and they have a tradition where they have a lady go out and ride the horse around the stadium, and he's terrified of horses.
How can you be terrified of horses unless you got bitten by one?
I think that's what happened to him. Actually, is
maybe
a horse.
I got bit by a turkey.
There you
when
go.
I was like 6.
But can you really get bit if it doesn't have teeth though?
Yeah, they could
get pecked.
Dude, geese have teeth.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
it's terrifying.
Some scary shit.
Dude, I saw. Speaking of horses, I saw a video of a mare killing a.
Oh my god.
I guess it was a stud, but like it was a really short video. But this mare like just straight up kicked this male horse right in the middle of the forehead. The horse instantly died. It was
holy
crazy.
Shit.
Jesus.
Well, he probably
I like how he's just like of this mare killing, and you're just like, oh my god, like the mare killing? You don't even know what he killed.
Yeah, it was a story
like
involving
he killed
killing
a bag of
peanuts.
peanuts.
Oh my god.
He devoured that
He
thing.
destroyed it. I was like, man, I do not want to get kicked in the face by a horse because apparently it's like a shotgun and kill you instantly.
That's I don't think I'd ever want that either.
So anyway, it's Devin Bush.
Anyway, Then the Bengals got Jonah Williams, offensive tackle guard. That's Bengals need a lot of things.
Yeah,
so that's a good pick.
O-line's never sexy, but it's always important.
Yep. Then the Packers shocked me and took Rashawn Gary.
Rashawn
Gary, which at the time I was like, I don't know. But it's actually grown on me a lot after looking into it more and seeing stuff like a lot of the plays at Michigan were Rashawn Gary getting like double and triple teamed, and then Devin Bush and Winovich and all these guys like making plays because of that.
Right.
So, plus they were kind of playing him out of position. They played him like on the line at defensive end. They even put him at defensive tackle. Rarely they'd put him at linebacker. And what the Packers want to do is in the 3-4, line him up as kind of like that Julius Peppers, where he's like the freak athletic type of guy.
Right.
Where they can just like swap them in and out because they have so many different linebackers now too.
Yeah.
So you keep him fresh. You don't really wear his shoulder down, and he's pretty much like the young Julius Peppers. Like he's a freak athlete. He's fast. He's like 6. I think they said he's like 6. What is he? 6. Rashawn
6'4".
Yeah, 6'4", 280, and runs a 4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is
insane.
a specimen for a DT.
Yeah, so it's I'm pretty hyped about it. Like after like looking into it, I'm like, all right, I can see this working out. I think a lot of people probably saw him as like a defensive lineman, but even when they announced him, they were like linebacker. So it shows they want to play him at linebacker. So
right, yeah.
I mean, and if it doesn't work out, it's like, hey, we still got other things, but I think it actually will work out. I think he's motivated to prove a lot of people wrong too, because he was supposed to be like the number 1 recruit, or he was the number 1 recruit out of high school. He was supposed to be like one of the best players in college, and then he kind of fell off a bit because maybe they just played him wrong or whatever reason. But I think it can work out.
Here's a fun fact about Rashawn Gary, Coach. Did you know that Rashawn Gary, has founded his own sports agency?
Really?
Right before the draft. Yep.
Dude. What is it?
It's called Rashawn Gary Sports.
All right.
Yo, that's
I'm not making this
fucking move, dude.
I'm not making this up. He did it right before the draft.
That's pretty coal. I think that's cool. Like that's dude's covering all bases if the playing thing doesn't work out for him.
Apparently, he already has 2 clients. One of them is him. I don't know who he is.
Of course. Hey, man, this guy, I don't even know. He could be crazy. Like, maybe he's good crazy.
Can you imagine like a Vine or a TikTok video of him going, "Show me the money," and then like the camera swaps back to like the opposite side. It's like, "I got the money." No, show me the money. I got the money. Show me. We're the same person. It's comedy gold right there, Coach.
Well, Devin Bush, we just talked about, said, quote, "I'd take Rashawn Gary before me."
Right. Yeah.
So look at that. Take that, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that pick. I think it'll work out. I hope it'll work out. Next, we had Christian Wilkins with the Dolphins. I think that's a pretty good pick.
Yep.
He was supposed to be pretty much right where he is, and he seems like a really cool dude. He's like jumping around on stage, having a good time.
Yeah.
And it seems like everybody likes him.
I think the Dolphins are going to be much improved here.
Yeah.
Even especially with Rosen now on their side.
Dude, now that Rosen is on the Dolphins, the AFC East has 3 of the 5 first-round QBs selected in 2018.
Yep.
That's how it is now in the AFC.
That is
Also,
literally Tom Brady versus the 2018 quarterback draft.
Pretty much, yeah. And on top of that, in 2019, the AFC East all drafted defensive line in the first round. Like, everybody was just like, all right, so we're going to throw the ball with our new QB, and we're going to beat up Tom Brady. That is the only thing that
we want to injure their new quarterback as well.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Did they realize that Josh Allen can hurdle a man?
He hurdled
if Josh
a man.
Allen hurdles Josh Allen, I don't know what will happen.
The universe
Space-time will
explode.
break. Yeah.
The universe will actually explode, and Coach might actually lose his mind.
And Josh Allen has been selected with the number 7 pick 2 years in a row.
Yes,
there better be a Josh Allen going number 7 next year. And we had the Falcons taking Chris Lindstrom, a guard, to protect Matt Ryan. This is always a good pick.
Good.
Yep.
Offensive line. Get him.
Then we had Dwayne Haskins go to the Washington Redskins in, I think, the most fitting selection of the draft. I can't see a better place for Dwayne Haskins to go than Washington. Not because it's a good fit, but because it just seems like crazy shit's about to happen in Washington.
Oh, yeah. Well, when is there ever not?
I didn't like Haskins. I really didn't like his attitude during the draft. When he finally got picked, he said that the league really screwed up. Now they're gonna find out I got a chip in my shoulder or something like that.
He's trying to be like Aaron
Josh
Rodgers.
Rosen thing. Yeah.
He's trying to do Aaron Rodgers, but like he's not Aaron Rodgers.
And like I pretty much like whenever I look at a rookie and they're smirking every time someone gets picked above them, like they just had it in their mind that they were supposed to be number 1 or number 2. And that sort of thing, and then the dude starts like smirking on TV whenever he gets passed over. That just rubs me the wrong way. It
feels
the
like
wrong
he's
type
gonna
of attitude.
be the poor man's Cam Newton.
I highly doubt that because he can't run worth a shit. Like,
I was gonna more.
Oh, really? He can't run?
No, not at all. Like he's
Well,
he's probably the least mobile QB.
He's kind of like the homeless person's Cam Newton.
I was more
he's
gonna.
big. He's got a Big Ben kind of thing going on.
I was gonna say more like Byron Leftwich, but yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. He doesn't have quite the rocket that Sexy Rexy had, or not.
So he's
not
kind of
Sexy Rexy.
Leftwich.
Guy.
He's kind of like the poor man's Byron Leftwich, which isn't a good comparison.
But who knows? Again, it's all a crapshoot in the end.
Yeah, he could be the best QB in this class. I mean, we really don't know. But my take on Haskins was that he was very developmental. I'd probably rate him as the 3rd best in the class, though. So, take from that what you will.
To show,
how about wasn't what's that other Ohio State guy? Is kind of big. Cardale Jones. Do you think he's got like a Cardale Jones type career? Because Cardale Jones got picked by the Bills and was bad, but he was a 4th round pick, so he's got to be better than.
He gotta be better than a 4th.
Gotta be better than a 4th round pick.
To illustrate how little rushing Haskins actually does. True or false, Coach? Over the course of his collegiate career, he has rushed for over 200 yards.
Wow, that's pretty bad. Okay.
True or false, Coach?
That's a true or false? True.
That is absolutely incorrect, Coach. He has a collegiate career total of 194 rushing yards, Coach.
Well, that's what I meant. I meant he didn't run a lot. I heard it wrong.
Yeah,
so that's even worse.
Yeah.
Wow,
He's got pretty much no, like, they ran him on option plays quite a bit from what I saw, but it really was more because he's big.
Yeah.
Rather than because he's fast, because he's really not fast.
I saw.
To be fair, he redshirted in 2016. 2017 was like sophomore, and then of course the draft year was 2018 when he went crazy. But he only rushed for 108 yards in 2018. So
yeah, no, he's not a running quarterback.
He is not. He's about as
he's
mobile
a pocket
as
passer. Yeah,
yeah.
Someone compared him to Derek Carr.
I could see that actually. Yeah.
Okay.
He's got
a glowing.
He's got some, from what I saw on video, is like there's some accuracy concerns. Some of like his teammates' skill kind of bailed him out a lot, is what I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of his yardage came from yards after catch, from what I saw. I don't know. Again, I actually don't know the statistical information here on this, so all of that could just actually be wrong, Matt. Like from the stats, but what I saw on video, that's what I saw, and it didn't. I don't know. It's weird. He's gonna need time, because if he can get the time and the training and stuff, and he can fix up the things that he's not doing well at right now, he does have an NFL arm. So
yeah,
I don't know. And like I said, with all these QBs, none of us know any of the behind the scenes stuff. He could have been the best on the board. You know, we don't know. Like he could have been the best on the chalkboard. He could have known all the plays. I don't know. You have no idea.
Yeah.
So
I think he might be able to succeed in the right situation, and I don't think Washington is the right situation.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That'd take a wild guess. Apparently, I was listening to like a bunch of scouts talk, and they said there's a report that in the Washington war room, one of them said, "If we take Dwayne Haskins, I will vomit on this table." And nobody knows who it was. They don't know if it was like Jay Gruden or Daniel Snyder or anybody, but that actually happened.
That's dirty.
Yeah, so
that sucks.
I'm just gonna actively be rooting against him just because of that dude. So,
legit though, I actually think the Giants stole Daniel Jones from the Redskins. Like, I'm not kidding. Because Dan Snyder made that big fucking hurrah. Like, I'm announcing to the media that I am taking over this draft. The last time he did that, they traded like half their ammo in the draft to get up to 2 to get RG3. And I'm pretty sure they wanted to move up in this draft and pick somebody. And my guess is that it was Daniel Jones, and the Giants took it from him. Yeah. So that's what I think happened there.
They're probably like, they're not going to take Daniel Jones at 6. They won't do it. And then they did.
But it could work out that Haskins is way better than Daniel Jones. Who knows?
Yeah, we don't know anything until it actually happens. But if we look back on this and he's bad, then we predict it. Brian Burns went to the Panthers, which I think is a pretty good pick. He seemed like he was like an underrated pass rusher from everything I was hearing.
Deep class on the D-line, so, I mean, any of these guys could be great.
I'm not looking forward to seeing him twice a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would not be either. Then the Giants took Dexter Lawrence, nose tackle.
Yeah.
I guess they need that.
I think. Yeah. I don't know. Like, how many teams even run with a legitimate nose tackle anymore? You know?
I know the Packers do in the 3-4, but even then, they swap it up so much that it's like they play so many different schemes.
Don't the Ravens run a DT? Nose guard, I mean.
Yeah. The Packers also got Kenny Clark, who's like one of the best nose tackles. Like he's gotten really good.
It does seem to be like a fading position, the nose tackle, but you know, I mean, the Giants have had success when they stole Snacks Harrison away from us, so you know, they had success with him. So,
well, it's great to have a nose tackle, because the thing about that is that it keeps your defensive line versatile.
Right.
And playing nose tackle is arguably the hardest position on the line to play. so if you have someone who's actually really competent at that, it's like having almost like a jack of all trades as far as like where you want to shift them in and out of the line. They can play on the end. They can play on the twos. I mean, they like nose tackles it's just a specialized position, but if they're good, then they're real good. And your defensive line is super duper scary because then you can do a lot of stunts and everything. And they're neat to watch, but it's not that common anymore in the NFL.
Yeah, like the platonic ideal of a nose tackle, like positionally, I'd imagine, is that he is going to be on every play eating up multiple blocks.
Yeah.
Right. If he's not good enough to do that, though, then you've just got a slow defensive lineman, which is, I think, why teams are moving away from that as a coveted position and moving towards more of the like agile Aaron Donald type. But at the same time, like I said, they've had success at that position before, so maybe this guy's the dude. Maybe he's going to be a beast.
Yeah.
I mean, those tackles are designed to eat multiple blocks.
Right. Yeah.
Well, good for the Giants. They're doing it. Then Garrett Bradbury, center guard, went to Minnesota. They need offensive linemen very badly there.
Extremely badly, yeah.
Yep, because Rob's favorite boy in the entire NFL.
Kirk Cousins needs his help.
He wouldn't be an incomplete pass machine without more offensive linemen. So
I'll just have you know he was top 10 in all passing categories again on the Vikings.
He can't win in the playoffs.
But you know who
go to the playoffs.
This is actually more even of a pick for their running game because their running game was fucking atrocious last year.
Yeah.
So they actually really need some help there on the O-line. Get that running game going.
Yeah. And they took a running back in the first round last year, which was Dalvin Cook. So I think they need Dalvin Cook to get going. I think he got injured though last year, so he's probably going to be
Rob,
he was yeah.
Rob, as a matter of fact, Alpaca Patrol.
Then the Broncos took Noah Fant.
Yeah.
Which, you got to get Joe Flacco as tight end. There it is. Which could work. I think it's a pretty good pick.
I had Fant going to the Packers, so.
Well, I saw a lot of things saying Noah Fant was even better than Hawkinson.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I mean, that's the reason why I put him I didn't put Hawkinson going to the Packers. I had Fant going, but I'm not surprised to see tight ends go so high, I guess.
Yeah.
Who was the highest drafted tight end of all time?
I don't know actually.
Because first round at the 8th pick, like Hawkinson's, that's really up there. I'm sure there's been. Has there ever been a number 1 pick for tight end?
I don't think so.
I don't actually know. That's a good question. Let's see. Position draft history, tight ends.
We had 2 tight ends go in the first round. Is pretty good.
Let's see. Pick number 2017. Let's see. Here's some past tight ends that went in the first round. Last year, Ravens took Hayden Hurst. 2017,
which I think worked out for them.
Yeah. OJ Howard, Buccaneers.
19th pick.
Looks like
Eric Ebron was the 10th pick.
Yeah, Eric Ebron was the 10th pick. Tyler Eifert, 21. Kobe Fleener. Wait,
Vernon Davis was 6.
Oh, yeah.
So was Kellen Winslow apparently too. So
yeah, that's a pick. Jermaine Gresham.
Ricky Dudley. Ooh. It's not a name I know, so he probably did not do too well.
Yeah.
I didn't think about Vernon Davis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't.
The thing is,
my God, Jeremy Shockey.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy Shockey.
Yes, I do. Dude, I actually really like Jeremy Shockey when I was younger. Oh, dude,
I don't know. I forgot all about him.
I'm pretty sure he actually is like one of those side analysts on NFL Network.
Really?
I think so. I think that's what he's doing. I think I saw him one time. But the thing is with the tight end position,
the Booger Mobile.
I think the thing is with the tight end position is it's since Gronk, it's changed a lot. Like Gronk pretty much altered that position forever, I feel like. And now teams are realizing how valuable having that big body, not necessarily the fastest receiver, but, you know, the biggest target type of guy that also can run is pretty valuable.
If you recall me ranting and raving about Hayden Hurst's touchdown that this past season, that dude is fast as hell, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, tight ends are getting faster and faster.
That was one of the fastest tight end catches I've ever seen. I don't remember who they were playing, but it was incredible to see him beat out the safeties there. When did Witten go? Was he drafted as a tight end?
I think didn't Witten go undrafted?
Was he undrafted?
I don't know.
Let me look this up.
That's
Jason Witten, Wikipedia.
The All-Pro announcer Jason Witten.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a third round.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure he wasn't undrafted, but
That's where the Packers got their tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Next, Jason Witten.
Yep.
Well, speaking of Packer picks, they picked right after Noah Fant and took Darnell Savage. Which,
not only
again,
did they pick him, they traded up for him.
Yeah, they traded up for him. They gave up two, I think it was both fourth rounders and their 30th overall, which
they traded Seattle, didn't they?
Yeah, they traded Seattle. I don't think that was too bad. One of those fourth rounders was for HaHa Clinton Dix this previous year. So he essentially traded HaHa Clinton Dix, the New Orleans pick, and a fourth rounder to move up and get a safety we wanted, which I think is pretty good.
Yes.
And after, dude, okay. So at the time I was like, who is this guy? I've watched highlights and I love this guy. This is like the perfect compliment to Adrian Amos, who we signed in the offseason, because Amos is a very safe safety. He's like a strong safety, like the stereotypical, like he's not going to make mistakes. He plays the run. He's not going to give up any big plays. Darnell Savage is legit a savage. This dude runs around the field at like super high speeds. He makes crazy hits. He had so many interceptions that were just like, how do you do that? He's like a legit ball hawk safety. And his name's Savage. So
Savage Jr.
Somebody was comparing his stats with Nick Collins, and he has like the same stats as Nick Collins, who is probably one of our best safeties like we've ever had. He's the safety when we won the Super Bowl. We had the pick six on Ben Roethlisberger. And he's got the same stats, except he actually hits harder. So it's if he's anything like Nick Collins, I am all aboard. All aboard the Savage train.
He had 11 tackles in one game.
That's crazy.
The dude's insane. Like, I was watching him just make these plays, and everyone in the comments was just like, man, I remember when this team played this guy. Like, he's like crazy. Like
he had 9 solo tackles in another game. That's nuts.
That is pretty wild.
Like
he sounds like Jamal Adams, actually.
For a safety, yeah.
He's like, he flies all over the field when you watch his highlights. Like, if you want to just watch like one Darnell Savage highlight thing, you'll be like, wow, this dude's fast.
Dude, I believe it.
So I'm very excited about that pick now that I've watched all that and heard things. Apparently he was jumping up people's boards, which is why they wanted to trade up for him. Like, he was like a third-round prospect that jumped to a second-round prospect that jumped to like a first-round prospect. And apparently the Colts wanted to take him at, I believe, 22. And when they didn't get him, that's when they traded down with Philadelphia. So that's why the Packers traded up to get him. But yeah, he was apparently like flying up draft boards. People were like, damn, this kid's good. So then, so now after looking into all that, it's like, all right, I'm very happy with this pick now.
It does seem weird, though, like trading up for a safety. But I guess if he's that good, then, props to them. But yeah.
Well, I think I like it because it fits. It's a good player that fits a need, because we have Amos. So now we have both our safeties. And then we have Jair Alexander at the starting corner. And then we got, our other corners right behind it, which is, we finally got some depth there. And then we pretty much filled out like our defense, which was garbage for the past, I don't know, since we won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy with all of it. And at least our first round picks for what we did.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Then the Eagles, like I said, traded up to get an offensive tackle, Andre Dillard, which I think is a pretty solid pick.
Yep.
Then the Texans took Titus Howard, offensive tackle, Alabama State. I think it's pretty clear that they wanted Andre Dillard and didn't get him, and they were like, just take a guy.
They're like, no way they're going to draft this position.
We can't let Deshaun Watson keep getting it. Just get somebody. So, they panicked. Then the Raiders took Josh Jacobs, the Alabama running back, who I think was the top-rated running back.
And he's the Khalil Mack pick also, technically.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. They traded, but I guess Marshawn Lynch retired, so they don't got him anymore. They needed a running back. They got him. So
and he's apparently he was the highest rated running back in the class too. So
yeah, it wasn't a very deep running back class, I think.
Out of like 3 running backs, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But if you're gonna take one in this draft, take the best, right? So.
Yep. Then the Ravens got Marquise Brown. Hollywood Brown, as some call him, who's like 5'8", 170 or 160 or something.
Yeah, he's like way skinny.
That's like Coach Crendor stats.
That's like my status right there.
Yeah.
If I was to be an NFL player, that's probably the size I would be.
But would you really want to be called Hollywood Brown, though?
Well,
it either sounds like a really bad. It sounds like a really bad like crayon color, or like
does, actually,
or like a fetish name for a movie that you probably shouldn't Google.
Yeah, Hollywood Brown. I saw Barry make the joke where he's like, "Man, Hollywood Brown must be sad that a wide receiver is going to be throwing to him." So we'll see how that works out in Baltimore.
He is fast as hell, so
he is fast. So that Ravens team is pretty much all about speed.
I'm still looking forward to watching Lamar Jackson play this year, Coach.
Oh, me too.
We'll see if he's
I'm glad
improved.
that they supported their quarterback by getting offensive players.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that they would do that.
But Joe Flacco,
unlike some other teams,
an elite quarterback.
Then the Redskins got Montez Sweat, which is a great value pick. He's supposed to be like probably around a top 10 even, like maybe around 10.
He's projected to go pretty high.
Yeah, so that could end up being a really good steal for him. Oakland then took Jonathan Abram, a safety out of Mississippi State.
They got from the Cowboys.
Yeah. And I think he's supposed to be a pretty solid safety. I don't know if he's a strong safety, free safety, but he's pretty high up there.
Yeah.
Then the Chargers took Jerry Tillery, which I called after seeing that they need defensive line very bad. So that pick makes sense. Maybe a little high for him, but whatever.
Back to the Jonathan Abram pick real quick. That was the trade that they acquired from Dallas for the Amari Cooper trade, by the way.
So Jonathan Abram and Josh Jacobs are the trade picks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which means we'll see if they were worth it.
Yeah.
Then L.J. Collier was picked by the Seahawks, defensive end.
Collier, Coach.
Collier? L.J. Collier?
Like Dave Coulier.
And apparently this is a classic Seahawks pick because they heard that apparently he's like plays for his mother who died or something. So like he's like, yeah, I'm playing for her and whatever. And then Pete Carroll heard it and he's like, we're taking this guy. So a classic Pete Carroll
chewing the gum in his mouth.
That's a good scheme. Then the Giants, who I didn't even realize had 3 first-round picks, took DeAndre Baker, corner.
Yeah.
I guess he's good.
I mean, it was part of a 3-team trade, so
yeah. It's the Giants. Then the Falcons took Caleb McGarry, another offensive lineman. They're very concerned for Matt Ryan getting older. And then the Patriots got N'Keal Harry.
I hate it. I don't like it.
Which I think is a receiver Rob wanted.
Yeah, I liked him. I liked that guy, and I'm
now
sad. Well, I'm both flattered that Bill Belichick and I think alike, but also very sad that Bill Belichick likes this person because he seemed very, very good, and I don't like that Bill Belichick likes him. It's very scary that Bill Belichick took a receiver in the first round.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
I'm sure every single Jets fan was shaking their boots when they saw that wide receiver walk.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too good about that.
You know, he's just sitting there like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna be the next Randy Moss. Let's get him.
Yeah.
Sure.
I just picture the hoodie just like leaning back in like one of these computer chairs and be like, just get a wide receiver. Who cares?
We'll make it work.
Yeah.
But of course, the biggest pick of the draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Rocky Sin, corner, Temple.
Yeah, and they got that pick from the Jets.
Correct. Yeah.
That they did.
How could you do that, Rob? How could you do that?
You could have had Rocky Sin.
We really could have. Really could have.
It's very sad. Those are the main picks, the first round. Some other notable picks that happened, of course, Jawan Taylor. Over there.
Yeah.
The Cardinals got Byron Murphy, who's one of the top-ranked corners, if not the top-ranked corner.
Yep.
They had Greg Little from Ole Miss go to the Panthers. They had Cody Ford, who was projected as a first-round pick, go to the Bills. So the Bills getting a steal in the second round.
Broncos end up getting Drew Lock.
Drew Lock, second-round pick. We had a feeling he'd go to the Broncos, and he did go to the Broncos.
Yep. He seemed like a John Elway type of QB.
Yeah, he
which
really
is
did.
to say that he seems bad.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, anyway.
It's a pretty bargain pick, I gotta say. That's a lot of value right there.
I mean, like, honestly, like Drew Lock, that's right around where he should be picked, in my opinion. Like, he's a second round, like, developmental.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if all the things work out, he's got all of the like if you had printed out a template of a QB on a computer, he has all the same measurements, right? So that's
as opposed to your iWatches.
that's it, and that's what Elway likes. He's this guy's 6'4", 230, perfect, pick him. Good.
He also legit looks like a big douche.
He does look like a douche.
And he looks like Jay Cutler still, which is
Yeah.
what freaks me out. And I think that's what John Elway likes. He's like, dude, this guy's like Jay Cutler. Big douche Jay Cutler. You got him.
He's got to get the porn stash going, though.
Mm-hmm.
He does. He's got to work on that one.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see that unfold in Denver. Especially with Joe Flacco going from one team that wants to replace him to another team that eventually wants to replace him. But I mean,
we don't
he's
want
getting old.
Flacco, get him out of here.
Packers took Elton Jenkins, which is like a versatile offensive lineman. So I like that pick because he can play in any of the spots where we'll probably get injuries at, like we do every year.
Mm-hmm.
Then another big pick was Greedy Williams to the Browns.
Yeah.
People had Greedy Williams in the first round, and the Browns get him at pick 46 in the second round. Like, that's a really good steal.
I don't remember who it was, but one of the Browns picks had a hilarious story. I don't know if you guys saw this. That he was taking a dump when the Browns called him.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Coach, how can you skip over Tampa Bay's second pick, Coach? Sean Bunting.
Oh, yeah, Sean Bunting.
Sean Bunting.
Could be playing baseball.
Yep, but instead he decided to play football in the Tampa Bay
swap
Buccaneers.
with Kyler Murray.
Yep, from Central Michigan. That's again, all they had to do was just not pick anyone on offense, and I was happy with it. And they did
it. Proud
until
of them.
the fifth round.
Until the kicker. The other big picks here that I saw, Eric McCoy to the Saints. That's pretty good for an offensive lineman. You get to play with Drew Brees. Irv Smith Jr., the Alabama tight end, goes to Minnesota. A.J. Brown, one of the top wide receivers, goes to Tennessee, which is great for them. And DK Metcalf going to the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be really interesting.
That is either going to be Russell Wilson throwing to Calvin Johnson or Russell Wilson throwing to a guy that's not on the team in 2 years. So we'll see which one it is. Should be exciting. As for the rest of the picks, it's just the typical like whatever. But we can go over our own team's rest of the picks. So let's see what the Jets picked, which I think was more defense. Actually, the Jets got a Ja'Kai Polite,
We did.
who was supposed to be possibly a first-round pick.
Yeah, so I made a tweet that I was angry at the Jets for taking a defensive player. Still angry, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But again, I understand my own bias, and I understand that this dude might be legit very good. In fact, I'm seeing on the Jets subreddit right now, according to PFF, Ja'Kai Polite was the 19th player in all of college football, just the 19th overall grade.
Yeah.
So I mean that's really good. That's great. In fact, but with the amount of linebackers that we took in this draft, I'm starting to believe that Darren Lee is definitely on the way out. So hopefully we get a fucking center for our team, which we have not addressed this entire offseason, dude.
Hey, Rob, I have a question for you.
Yeah, hit me.
How do you pronounce your third-round pick's name?
So, I don't know, but I've been saying Chuma Edoga. It might be Kuma. Kuma would be a cool name, too.
That is a cool name.
I thought it was Shuma.
It might be. I don't know. The thing is, so we don't need a tackle. So whatever. But there was a picture on the subreddit. Yeah.
Have you seen his picture?
No. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, yes.
Would you like to see his picture?
All right. Yeah. Hit me with the picture.
I'm putting it in the private text. There you go.
He looks like he got very high. Very high.
Seemed like that a little bit. Yeah.
Also, I'm reading a little about him. Apparently, Ja'Kai Polite fell so much because of motivational issues, and Chuma Edoga had even worse motivational issues.
Yeah.
So those players would have gone higher. But maybe now that they're part of the Jets, they will be very motivated to play football.
With Sam Darnold.
I mean, it could be, you never know. Here's the thing. We do have some real good fucking leadership on the defensive side of the ball. I don't know if we have amazing leadership on the offensive side. I'm hoping that we do because we have Sam Darnold, but I'm not sure. That's not really a lot of the news stories that I've heard necessarily. That he's amazing in the locker room or anything. Yeah. But I know that Jamal Adams is. So
you never know with these guys. Maybe they just took a bit off in college because they didn't want to get injured. They want to get to the NFL before they start trying. Or they're still, they're all really young.
Could be.
You never know if they just grow up and then they get better. So
I'm just happy we got at least one fucking offensive lineman in the goddamn draft.
Yeah. Then the Jets took Trevin Wesco, tight end.
Yeah. Which is great. You would think that's offensive side of the ball, dope. However, this dude seems
like a blocker tight end.
He's a blocking tight end. He's apparently the best blocking tight end in the class. So there's that. But he's
works for Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, exactly. So he's for Le'Veon. He's not for Darnold. So. I don't know. That's cool. I mean, it's good to have a great blocking tight end if he is a great blocking tight end, because we already had one of those on the team, Eric Tomlinson, who seemed all right. So hopefully he's good, and hopefully he's a great blocker. I don't know. He only has, I think, 29 receptions in his entire collegiate career, so he's really, really a blocker.
Huh. Well, maybe you'll get a wide receiver somehow. We'll just fall out of the sky or something.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Undrafted free agents. You never know.
Could be.
You get Jason Witten to come out.
Then you had Blake Cashman, linebacker, the Cash Man.
Yeah, we didn't have enough linebackers, so this is good. We need more. If we get 30 or 40 of them, then we might be able to field a good team. So we'll see what happens there.
Hey, at least your team didn't draft a kicker.
That's a great point.
And you got
He's
a
got
corner.
a great name though, so I'm happy about that.
You got another great name guy, Blessuan Austin.
Correct. That is a wonderful name. I do love the name.
It sounds like
Blessuan.
he's sneezing. Like bless you, Juan.
Thank you.
And it looks like undrafted free agents, the Jets did pick up Greg Dortch, a wide receiver out of Wake Forest.
We did, yeah. Who apparently is a return specialist type of dude. So that's probably what his role is going to be. But he does seem very good on return. So, hopefully it works
they
out.
picked up John Battle as well.
Mm-hmm.
And actually they picked up like a shit ton of defensive undrafted free agents still.
Yeah.
Which, man, I guess they just really don't like offense.
They've never have, and I hate it. I hate every ounce of it. Because this is what they did to Mark Sanchez. This is what they did to Geno Smith. I swear to fucking God, if they do it to Sam Darnold too, I don't know if I can continue watching this franchise. Like, I legitimately, like, if we go next draft, like the draft after this, and we pick up no offense, I don't think I can be a fan anymore. I legitimately can't. Like, I can't do this anymore, man. I can't live like this anymore. I need offense. Please, for the love of God.
Offense.
I mean, you got that extra third-round selection by trading away Teddy Bridgewater, so
That's true. Yeah,
maybe Chuma is the godsend you needed.
could be.
Well, the Buccaneers, going over to them, they did get defense, which is what Sinvicta wanted. You would be happy with the Jets management.
I would. I still wouldn't trade them for management, but I think the Bucs drafted exactly how I wanted them to. I'm sorry, the 5th round. And I do have a problem with Sean Bunting though, because the thing is the Bucs don't need defensive backs. Like, we need a safety.
Right.
Yeah.
And when Bunting went out at the overall 39th pick, I was kind of like, why? Because we don't like DB is it's a good position to draft for. It's not a good position to draft in the 2nd round unless there's something like someone who's like ungodly good. But with Savage going out to the Packers in round 1, I was like, okay, so they probably are going to go for, I hope, Marquise Blair, because I liked the look of how he played when I was looking at other safeties and stuff. So it surprised me. It kind of disappointed me. I don't know if they're planning on like shifting him to safety, Bunting that is, but that was the one that I sort of was kind of like, I don't know about that. And then they drafted a cornerback immediately after that. So I have to hope that Bucky Bruce will shift one of them, because the inside presence is where Tampa really was hurting. The outside presence is okay. I mean, we're all hurting.
On Wikipedia, it lists Sean Bunting as a CB. Was he not listed as a CB in the draft and stuff?
No, he is.
Yeah, he was. Well, he was listed as
just general DB.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, then maybe they did draft him to be sort of that flex free safety position.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing I'm assuming, because I was like, we need another.
That kind of happened with the Packers and Micah Hyde. Like, he was a corner, and they put him at safety, and now he's like a Pro Bowl safety with Buffalo. So I mean,
there you go. Yeah,
it could always work out. And then the Seahawks took Marquise Blair. So if you see him doing great over there, we'll have our scout specialist, Sinvicta, the safety specialist. If you call Marquise Blair and Derwin James,
you're the safety guy.
Even though I never played a down in my life in the secondary, I am the secondary whisperer. So, but I mean, again, overall, I'm okay with them drafting defense. I don't know why we decided to go for wide receiver. I don't know anything about Scott Miller. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to try to lie like I do.
Yeah.
But
well, before we get into the special pick, we had Jamal Dean, corner out of Auburn, Mike Edwards, DB out of Kentucky, Anthony Nelson, defensive end out of Iowa, and Scott Miller, wide receiver, Bowling Green, Terry Beckner Jr., defensive tackle, Missouri. So a lot of secondary help. Couple linebackers or defensive end linebackers. I mean, all defense. And then the ultra pick round 5, pick 145, out of Utah, kicker Matt Gay, who
Thanks,
probably
Coach.
was made fun of in school.
A great deal, I'd imagine. Yeah.
Yep. And the crazy thing is that he weighs like a lot.
Does he really?
He's a big kicker. He weighs.
What the fuck?
He's 6 feet tall and 230.
Yep.
All right. That's a big boy.
Yeah, if you look at some of these pictures, he looks like he could be a lineman.
And we took him in the 5th round.
He's a heckin' chonker right there.
That's super Tampa. So not only did we draft yet another kicker in the 5th round, but we refused to sign kickers. Just sign a kicker. You don't have to draft a kicker. Did we not know anything from Roberto Aguayo?
Yeah. You know, if it makes you feel any better, Sid.
It doesn't, Rob.
Well, if perchance it may in the future, on sleepless nights, Bill Belichick drafted a punter in the 5th in this draft as well. So, you know.
That's Bill Belichick, though.
It's a fair point, yeah.
And he has, if your team has all the weapons you need, then draft a kicker whenever the hell you want. But if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you need defense. How in the world are you going to try to convince me that drafting a kicker instead of just signing one, the millions of kickers that are out there, is a good idea?
You're saying this now about Matt Gay, but in 25 years, when he's knocking down his 3rd game, like playoff clinching kick, then maybe you're not going to be talking so tough on Matt Gay.
If I'm alive
in
by
3
then,
years.
Rob,
in 3 years when he's out of the league, like Albert Aguayo,
I get to tell Rob that you were wrong.
That is
fun fact here, Coach, because we got the trivia questions coming up soon, and I can't wait to get to those. But as a little bit of a preview here, and I'll let Rob also guess how many total kickers, talking about place kickers and punters, went in the draft this year.
He might be like 3.
Rob?
I'd say like 2 or 3, 2 maybe.
That's absolutely incorrect. There were 4 kickers that went in this year's draft. 2 place kickers, 2 punters, and couldn't be happier that the Buccaneers happened to be one of them. The Browns drafted Austin Siebert from Oklahoma, and then the punters on top of Matt Gay, of course, who went to Tampa Bay. I'm not saying that Siebert was on top of Matt Gay. I'm just saying that there you go. I'm just saying the picks were there anyway. And then the Niners also drafted punter Mitch Wisnowski, and Jake Bailey went to the Pats.
Dude, I'm just saying it now. Wisnowski, he's going to be the best. You know why? Because he's got the funniest sounding name. And if the NFL of the last 20 years has told me anything, is that kickers with funny names do well. So
that's true.
Janikowski.
Exactly.
If it makes you feel any better.
It doesn't, Coach.
All right. Well, this definitely won't then. The Vikings took a kicker, Daniel Carlson, last year in the 5th round.
Yeah.
And in great fashion, he blew 2 of the easiest kicks against the Packers and then was cut and picked up by the Oakland Raiders, who he then went 16 of 17 with. So he found his groove after he got cut by the team that drafted him.
There you go. So he'll probably be really bad in Tampa and then get cut and goes to the Patriots and kicks a Super Bowl winning kick.
Thanks, thanks, Rob. Appreciate that. That's how it's going to go for sure.
Yeah.
That's just super.
Yeah.
I'm happy with Devin White. Not happy with Matt Gay. Everyone else is fine. The Sean Bunting pick is a little bit of a noodle scratcher unless they are planning on flexing him. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Coach, predicting early predictions here for the 2019-2020 season. My official prediction is the Bucs will go a solid 2-14, Coach.
All right. Hey, that's 2 wins.
That's pretty good. That's not bad. 2 whole wins.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I'd even give him 3.
I like it.
Let's not get crazy here now.
So for the Packers, the rest of their rounds, we got in the third round Jay Sternberger, Texas A&M tight end.
Yep.
Sternberger.
Who a lot of Sternberger. I like that. I think it's gonna be a fun name to say. I'm down. Apparently, people had him as the best route runner as a tight end in the draft, which I'm all for. I'd rather have a guy that can run routes and not have Aaron Rodgers, tear his hair out.
Aaron Rodgers,
guy that just runs fast.
He's gonna
Your
love
next pick has a great name.
So pretty much they were saying Sternberger, smooth, fluid athlete. Pretty much seems like the type of guy Aaron Rodgers wants at tight end. Can learn behind our veteran tight ends, and maybe he plays basketball with Jimmy Graham. I don't know.
I mean, he's 6'4", so he was really good at A&M when the few times I saw him play there.
Sweet. Well, hopefully he's good in Green Bay, and we don't need a tight end for like 10 years. The next pick, another Texas A&M player, Kingsley Keke, which
Great name.
I love that name. I hope somebody just keeps getting sacked by Keke. Like, Keke with the sack. Apparently he's fast, big, athletic. I see the theme the Packers have been going for is speed and athleticism. Because if you've watched us in the past, we lack speed and athleticism.
Yeah.
So it seems like our new GM, Goot, comes in and he's like, hey, Ted Thompson, good job, but we're going to do things a lot differently. And I'm liking what he's doing.
Yeah.
So we got Kingsley Keke. We got in the 6th round, Kadar Hallman. Which, by the way, in the 5th round with Keke, very glad we took him instead of a kicker. Then we got Kadar Hallman. Toledo corner. Had some depth there. Another pick I really like. We got in the 6th round, running back Notre Dame, Dexter Williams. He's apparently a classic zone runner, which is perfect for our offense we'll be running with LaFleur, who pretty much runs a zone running offense, which reminds us of the Super Bowl team when we ran a zone run, which was James Starks. He was that one-cut downhill style runner, which I think is really good. Or even Ryan Grant, who we used to have back in the day. So I think that could be a little bit of a surprise pick. He could probably fit in behind Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams. Maybe come in as like a burst type of guy. So I like that. And then in the 7th round, we got Ty Summers, who's pretty much one of those like exceptionally fast, extremely good athletes that just needs to get better at mechanics. So probably
I thought you were going to say something about Kadar Hallman with his name being like some sort of Cthulhu.
Sounds like a sword or some shit wielded by a fantasy character.
That sounds like
Kadar.
a Jedi. Yeah.
Wow, he's actually a 6-foot guy who ran a 4.3. So again, we're going all out athleticism, like I was saying.
Yeah.
But
Al
it
Davis
worked last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So might as well keep doing it if it worked last year.
Yeah,
and Jair Alexander
and your team
was,
isn't the
really
Bucs or
good.
the Jets, so there you go.
yeah.
You
we
got that
still
going
have
for you.
a Hall of Fame quarterback leading the way, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Yep.
It's, must be nice, Coach.
Yep. So we also, from last year, we had a 3rd rounder, Oren Burks, linebacker, who apparently has been making like big strides and stuff. So that's another linebacker guy. And a lot of people, the big complaint was people being like, Packers didn't take wide receiver. We need wide receivers. And I was like, no. Okay, first off, we took like 3 wide receivers last year. All right, give them some time.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Devontae Adams, so we already have a number 1. So it's like, whatever. Then we got Geronimo Allison at the number 2, who's like a solid number 2 guy. He just got injured last year. And then behind him, we've got Jamon Moore, who we picked in the 4th round, who didn't even really play last year. He could have a breakout season. We had Equanimous St. Brown and Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who both played like pretty good for being rookie wide receivers. Like if you look at most rookie wide receivers in the league, most of them don't break out for like a year or two. Like even Devontae Adams. There was a point where Devontae Adams, I was like, we need to cut this guy because he was dropping so many passes. And then he fixed that, and now he's like a top 5 wide receiver.
There you go.
Like, so I think people are just quick to cut wide receivers or push them off. Like, St. Brown, Valdez Scale. It's like, dude, these guys could like morph into like a good wide receiver, like in their 2nd or 3rd year. Like, just give them time. Plus, we've got Jake Umaro, the Jesus looking me guy, who made some good plays. So that's another guy. So I think, I think we're fine there. And then in last year's pick, Cole Madison in the 5th round, offensive lineman. he took the entire year off because like his friend died or something, and now he's like coming back and he's like, yo, thanks for like having my back, Packer organization. So now that's another like rookie type offensive lineman we had from last year. So honestly, I'm pretty happy with what we got. I'd give our draft probably like a B plus, I think.
Okay.
All right. Rob,
What would you rank the Jets draft?
I would give it an S rank draft because we are going to the Super Bowl next year. So, you know, this is the best draft that we could have possibly had.
Rob has smoked something in the duration of this show, Coach. Not sure if we can handle this sort of substance abuse.
Yep.
And the Buccaneers, Coach, I would have drafted them a solid B plus maybe. But the fact that we took a kicker instantly, I got to drop him down to an F minus, Coach.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Well, Mel
Hard
Kiper.
but fair. Yeah.
Mel Kiper gave the Jets a B.
Oh, okay.
Hey, there
He
you
gave
go.
the Packers a C plus and the Buccaneers a C plus. He gave the only A to the Colts.
Oh, well.
Yep.
I mean,
Mel
that's
Kiper.
relatively safe. They did have a great draft last year.
They did.
So,
And then an A minus to the Browns, Patriots, Bengals, and Redskins. So that's interesting there. Also, just a couple other draft grades. CBS Sports gave the Packers a B. They gave the Buccaneers a where did they put the Buccaneers? Oh, they gave the Jets a B plus. Wow.
hell yeah.
Hey, there
let's
you go.
go.
CBS.
And they
working.
gave the Buccaneers a C plus.
Yeah, that's about right.
And the worst pick, they said, "Why did you take a kicker again?"
Yeah. There we go. Any
and
journalist
of course,
worth of salt would have said that.
there's the NFL.com. They didn't even grade all the teams. They just gave. Well, I guess they did, but I didn't find it. They gave the love picks to the Washington Redskins, Pittsburgh Steelers, Miami Dolphins, and Philadelphia Eagles. They gave the like picks to the Bills and Jaguars. And they gave the loathe picks to the Giants, Texans, and Lions.
Yep.
So that's what all the experts, quote unquote, say. But clearly we're the experts, so our
Obviously,
opinions matter.
I mean,
Of course,
we're
like,
a lot
a lot
better
more.
than everyone else.
Who do you think you're talking to here?
Come on now.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. I've got like 5 minutes left before
right.
I got to go to birthday stuff.
Okay.
Even though my birthday is not today, but it's
Yep.
you depending on what day this goes out, then maybe.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. So here we are. It's a new season, new postseason, preseason. Finally, the Bible of the internet has given us the post-draft power rankings. Now I'm gonna pick both of y'all's brains just to see how much you've been paying attention, because I'm guaranteeing that neither of you will pick the correct top 5. I'll start with Rob. Rob, 1 through 5 does not have to be in order. Bonus points if it is, which it won't. The top 5 teams, the NFL Power Rankings on NFL.com.
Patriots, Saints, Chargers, Chiefs. Oh God, I don't know. What would be the fucking last one? You know what? Browns. Say Browns.
All right, Coach.
I'm gonna say Patriots, Saints. Probably the Rams.
Oh, Rams is a good choice. Yeah.
Yeah. The Chiefs. And who else would be up there? Maybe probably the Colts.
All right, both of you are absolutely incorrect. Starting at the top, we have the Saints moving past the Patriots to number 1. That's falling down to 2. Rams stayed at 3. The Chargers stayed at 4.
Oh.
And then the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, I got it right.
Oh yeah.
Sitting at the 5th spot, the Chiefs. Here you go. This is going to be the follow-up question now to both of you. Where do you think the Chiefs fell down to?
11.
6. 11. Oh my god.
They were previously 6 pre-draft. They have fallen down to the 8th spot. Now here's the real noodle scratcher, because I can't wait to hear you guys guess this.
Uh-oh.
Out of the 2 teams that have moved above the Chiefs, so taking, and I'll even give you the spots, the rankings, the 6th and 7th team. You don't have to get it in that order. Can you name the 2 teams that have now shifted to above the Chiefs in the NFLPowerRankings.com/Bible of the Internet?
I'd say Browns and Vikings.
Chargers and
I mean, we already said the Chargers.
We already said the Chargers, Rob.
okay, not the Chargers. The Eagles and the Dolphins.
The Eagles is correct. The Bears jumping over the Chiefs.
Okay, that makes sense.
The Bears.
Yeah. All right.
Somehow.
Well, I don't know why I said the Vikings. Yeah, I like the Bears are probably better than the Vikings.
Yeah. Now here's another good one for both of y'all. True or false? The Cleveland Browns are Browns. True or false? They are still listed in the top 10 power rankings.
True, absolutely.
True.
100%.
They got to be up there.
That is absolutely correct. The Browns sitting at the 10th spot. And now here comes the real one, Coach Krendor. Now remember, I'm not the one who makes these. I'm just the one who's reading them off the list here. Coach, true or false? The Packers have moved into the top 15 in the post-draft power rankings.
That's got to be true.
That's 100% incorrect, Coach.
What?
The Packers are listed at 16th after moving up 1 position from the 17th position. They trail the Texans, the Titans, the Ravens, Vikings, Seahawks, and then the Browns rounded out.
We trail the
10.
Texans and the Titans, who
Coach,
don't even like.
You can't question it, Coach.
Right.
This is the Bible of the Internet.
I
Here
can
you go.
see you trailing the Texans, but the Titans, I'm not so sure, mister.
Rob, true or false? The Jets have climbed their way into the top 20 in the post-draft power rankings.
False.
Absolutely correct. The Jets have stayed at the 23rd position. They trail the Raiders, the 49ers, Lions, Jaguars, Steelers, Falcons, and the Packers.
They put us behind the fucking Raiders, dude.
And the Lions. Well, I guess the Lions.
You can't
Actually, you
question
beat the Lions.
Yeah, we
Last year.
destroyed the Lions. We
Nope.
stomped their asses
Can't
into the
question it.
ground.
This is the NFL power ranking.
How are the
The
49ers
ones.
so high?
Coach, you can't do it. Just don't worry about it. Can't question
All right.
it.
Okay.
This is the Bible here.
How are the Raiders so high? What the shit?
Yes, great question.
2 questions left. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have climbed out of the top 30 in the NFL power rankings on NFL.com.
I'll give them a true.
Rob?
I said false.
You're almost correct, Rob. The Bucs have fallen to the 29th rank
Okay.
after the draft. NFL.com. Thank you, Rob.
Jesus.
One of the reasons for this, citing the Sean Bunting pick as the reasons why that was not a little bit of a scratcher there. And then finally, guys, here we go. This is the question of the year. Mark this day down in history.
All right.
Can you 2 guess the 32nd ranked team in all the NFL power rankings on NFL.com? You get 1 guess.
New York Giants.
Ooh, that's a good guess. I want to say it's the Cardinals, but I think it's let's go Cardinals. Why not?
That's absolutely incorrect. The Cardinals have risen to the 31st position.
Of course.
Oh, all right.
Above the only team that could make it seem even more hilarious, falling to the 32nd rank from 31st, the Miami Dolphins. Even after acquiring Rosen from the Cardinals.
Wow.
I mean, it's not wrong. They are pretty bad. Where are the Giants at?
The Giants coach are currently ranked at the 27th spot, which is where they stayed.
27?
Yeah, and the Redskins have actually risen out of the top 30 to the 28, a meteoric rise as they scale past the Bengals and the Bucs to be on the 28th spot with that Dwayne Haskins pick.
Yep.
I mean, all right.
There you go. That's the NFL Power Rankings on NFL.com. Coach and Rob, back up to you in the booth.
All right. Well, I guess that'll do it for the post-draft show.
Yeah.
We're now excited for the next NFL season, so we got to wait a bit. I think about 3 months. We got to wait, maybe a little more. Probably like 3 months, couple weeks, but then we get preseason action. Actually, it says it right here. The first game of the 2019 season is the Broncos and Falcons.
Oh.
You only have to wait 128 days, Coach.
Oh, we get to see Drew Lock in action there, so that sounds pretty
Drew Lock
fun.
in action. That is August 1st at 8 o'clock Eastern time on NBC.
Well, that's preseason.
But it's the first game.
So
pretty much, literally 3 months. We're 3 months away from football starting up again.
Thank God.
So
I need it back in my life.
Me too. Well, that should be fun. We'll see what happens with all our picks, how they do in training camp and all that good stuff.
When are we gonna go? When are we coming back? Are we gonna
that's
do
a great
stuff?
question. Might as well.
Yeah, we can do preseason shit. Yeah, right.
We can. It'll be fun to be like, oh man, this guy looks great in the preseason. They're like just terrible in the regular season.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in 3 months. See you then. And that's all I got.
It's not Star Wars. It's the end of it's the end of Sports Center.
All right, I'm just stopping.